Introducing the Poet Life Podcast. Go check it out today on your favorite platforms, including iTunes, Apple Music, and the website, thepoetlife.com.
Find a way, find a way.
Hey, it's Christoph Wright of the Poet Life Podcast, and I am excited on today to have Keish the Lioness. How are you?
I'm feeling great. How are you?
I'm doing great as well, and I'm excited to have you on. It's been a little while. We've been trying to make it happen.
Yes,
and
we have.
indeed, but it's finally happening, and I think the information that we're able to present here on this episode will be well worth the wait.
Absolutely.
Poet Life is an organization of poets and artists who are dedicated to uplifting the poetry community and building the poetry industry. And honestly, one of the ways we do this is actually through our clothing line. All right. What better way to remind yourself that this is a life I'm living than what you're wearing on your body? You know what I'm saying? Anytime you see yourself in the mirror, it's another reminder, this ain't a game for me. I'm not just a poet or an artist because I make art. It's because I live it, I breathe it, I walk it. You see what I'm saying? I'm talking t-shirts, hoodies, sweatshirts, jackets, beanies, backpack caps, the whole 9 yards. We got that. Keep in mind, even if you don't identify as a poet, if you consider yourself an artist who expresses themselves through your words, you're a poet in my book. We got a whole variety of different colors, sizes. Y'all know this looks clean. All right, so if you're interested, go to the link in the description below, poetlifegear.com. You'll see it in the description. Use the discount code YOUNGBLOOD to get a discount on your purchases. And for those of you who are content creators hoping to join an affiliate program like Poet Life, there's also a link in the description to do that. I invite y'all to become affiliates yourselves. Now back to the video.
Indeed. So we're going to start from the beginning, right?
Okay.
Let me share where I found you, right? Obviously, it was on Instagram. You know, we know a lot of the same people, right? We're in a lot of the same circles.
Mm-hmm.
But what you're doing is what really caught my eye, and that is the poetry party. Yes. Can you tell me something about this poetry party real quick?
Okay, so the poetry party is it's a platform. I don't call it the poetry open mic. I call it the poetry party because it really is like a party of art that happens every Wednesday here in Baltimore. Through the pandemic, we have sustained, so we went virtual for some time, but we're back live now, and it's a vibe. It really is a vibe.
Yeah, so it's a live event.
Yes, it's a live event.
That's dope. Okay.
So what we do is we set it up open mic style, but we stream it. So we record it. I have partnered up with a professional production team. We've collabed and we record the entire show. So now the artists can get professional footage of their performances, and we stream it on YouTube so people can watch and engage online. So it's pretty dope.
Oh, I didn't know it was streamed live.
Oh yeah, we stream it live on YouTube. So
Nice.
We just wrapped up our first season, and this week coming actually we'll embark onto the second season. So for the first season, we stream live every Wednesday. So every Wednesday you could log onto our YouTube and watch our show. But moving into the second season, we'll actually only be streaming the last Wednesday of every month, but we'll still be streaming on YouTube.
So it's every Wednesday?
Yes, every Wednesday. I know. It's a lot. It's a lot.
You have some work on your hands.
Yes, absolutely, it's a lot, and I started August. I believe it was August 24th, if I'm not mistaken, 2019, and then we've been going every Wednesday since.
Wow.
Every Wednesday.
All right, so this is good because people do not understand the stress, the time, the effort, sometimes the burden to put something on regularly. I don't care if it's annually, but for it to be weekly.
Yeah.
All right. So when you thought of the idea, are you the founder? Are you the?
Yeah, I'm the founder.
Okay.
I'm the founder.
Okay.
So I'll tell you how we got here.
Okay.
I have been hosting in Baltimore for some years now, and I had a couple different open mics that I've been trying out around the city, finding different Black-owned establishments, bringing art there, and they were all relatively successful for a new open mic host. And I did that for some time, and I started doing all kinds of events and just building up a network. And one day, and in the midst of that, like really building up a network. So like when people needed a host, they would call me like that. So one day, a friend of mine was like, they're looking for a host at this new restaurant on York Road. I think you should check it out. So I go, I have a meeting, and I birthed the poetry party there. But so they were like, we want to do a weekly. I had never done a weekly before. So I was like, a weekly event. I said, you know what? I was thinking about my life and where I was. I was like, look, you either go on Leap or what. So I jumped into it. The very first week, it was a packed house, and it was literally like it's been packed ever since. Like we have a couple of light nights, but we've never had a week. We've never missed a week or had a week where no one showed up to perform or to spectate. So it's just been a blessing, and I'm grateful for it. But it's a lot. It is a lot.
Yeah, because I record these episodes weekly, and I'm tired right now. I want to go upstairs and go to sleep.
It's a lot.
You know what I mean? And when I was doing Fighting Cancer with poetry, I was doing, I started off doing monthly, and obviously, when you first start something, it's exciting, everybody shows up, and then things start to just dwindle, and they're like, well, I've been to the last one, so, I'll catch it when I catch it. You know what I'm saying? How have you been able to, I guess, keep things consistent and just keep the momentum high, if you will?
I would say it's two things I would say. So the one thing that I value the most about the poetry party is every week there's constantly new people. So we don't rely on the fans. Like we build fans, and people come through and they love it. But we always try to find, like my whole thing is like, and I always tell it, which I tell my team, which is my second point, is I tell the team like there's millions of people in Baltimore, like literally, like thousands, like. There's no such thing as another open mic competition. There's no such a thing as like there's so many people. So which leads me to my second thing is like I really am grateful for the fact that I have a team. Like for 7 months, the first 7 months of the poetry party, I did it by myself. And it was great. Yeah, it was great. It was awesome. And I never asked for a team. I never hired. I never said, hey, I'm looking for a team. The team just kind of like assembled. And gratefully, it's been literally a year that I worked with that team alongside with these artists and just producing dope. And so when we're all together, it's just constant new ideas, just checks and balances of each other so we can polish each other. So we not only are we always providing something new for people. So even if you came last week, you don't know what you're going to get this week. Like it could be anything. So just staying sharp, knowing that I don't know everything, and allowing myself to receive ideas, opinions, surveys. We have surveys we give out where people can actually like get feedback. So just trying to do it in a way that I haven't seen it done at all. And it's been working. It's been working. Nice. People love it. People love it. Like people love the poetry party. It's awesome. Even last week, I was away a week with family, and I didn't really get a chance to promote. I was so worried about I haven't done any of the work. I literally, all transparency, imagine not doing any of the work, right? None of it. Right. So I show up, and it's still a sold out house, and I'm like, bro, like, wow. So I'm really grateful for the momentum that we've created. I'm grateful for the team that, and not just my immediate team, but my production team as well. Because the videos and the footage that we've been able to provide these artists, they've gone viral. A lot of these artists have gone viral. Some of our posts of the artists have gone viral on our page. Right. So, and then all the things that we got coming in the future, like, because we're working on things to really develop artists. So how are we sustaining? Consistency, and then collectively working together as a team. And no matter who's a part of it, to just continue making the art better. So you don't feel like just because you came last week, you shouldn't come. Like, no, instead, I want a membership. How can I be a part of the poetry party? Like, I want to be in this. And that's the vibe and the energy we're trying to create.
Ooh, you just said something.
Yeah.
I don't know if you caught it, but that membership piece, that's heavy.
Yes. Oh yeah. And we can do that. I believe that we could become that. When you have something like a weekly, especially if you're an artist and you want to be an artist, you're looking for a place to polish, you're looking for a place to grow, but then you also are looking for a place where you can get booked, you can get more opportunities where other people are coming looking for artists like you. So we want to be that platform.
That's awesome. Yeah. That's awesome. That's good. All right. So the team, right? Because I'm totally familiar with doing it all by yourself, you know, and you know, would love to have a team, you know, but for me, I've never been keen to going out there and finding the team, you know. Because a lot of times when you do that, you get bodies, you know, you just get people, not the right people. You know what I mean? And because like when you throw a net out there, you get a lot of bad fish. You know what I'm saying? And when those folks join your team, you're like, okay, now it's an even bigger burden than I've had. I just might as well just do it myself. You know what I'm saying? So, but when you get the right people, though,
absolutely,
yeah. So the right people are attracted to the platform. Absolutely. So, what type of people have come to you and say, "Hey, I want to be a part of this poetry party. How can I add value?"
Absolutely. So it's funny that you even brought so many of these ideas up. So for one, I just had a very similar conversation on my way to set up to this interview about that exact concept of like having a great team and the difference, because the person was expressing to me how they wish they had a team similar to mine, such and such, and I was just like, yeah, I don't have a problem, but I understand. So as right now, as I said, we're moving into season 2 of the poetry party. So some of the members from our previous season will move on with us. Some of them will move on to the next stages of their art career, and we'll be inviting, interns in. So in the midst of us opening that and manifesting that and talking about that in our meetings, literally got a phone call from somebody who definitely has been not only supportive of the platform, a part of the platform, really cares about art, but she's actually an entrepreneur. She's not even necessarily a poet per se. She's done poetry on our platform before, but she's like, look, I see what you guys are doing. She's telling me about me. You know what I mean? Like, it was like, I'm sitting down, I'm interviewing her, and I'm like, tell me why you want to be a part of the poetry party. And she's like, the poetry party does this for the community. I like the way you do this. I like the way you set up your organization. And so when a person can see those things, and I don't have to like express those things to you, and they can see value in that, it's immediate click for me. For me, it's like, okay, I can see that you'll be a good fit here. And you can see what the poetry party can do for you. Because ultimately, if you're going to be on this team, if you're even going to be affiliate, even if you just come to the poetry party to perform, even if you just come to spectate, you should expect something in return. And so when you're coming, I want people to know what they're going to get out of it. How can we take your career, your brand to the next level? So that's what I'm looking for. Someone who is like interested and really focused on not only just being attached to the brand because it looks good, but also growing their individual brand as well.
Yeah, no, it's that component, that dynamic is so important. You want that person to not just be a follower. You want another leader.
Yes.
That has no problem following.
Exactly. And that's what I said. I need like someone who knows when to lead, knows when to take direction, and is comfortable doing both. So
that's good. That's good because like I said, I've been through some people, man, and it's been a great journey, but it's just been really hard finding the right people. And when I do, I try my hardest to make sure that they understand that I'm not using them. It's not all about the poet life,
right,
and none about them, right? Like I had somebody like call me boss or something like that, and I was like, no, I'm definitely not trying to be that to you.
yeah,
I would rather you consider me as a partner,
right,
because what you bring to the table is very meaningful and adds a lot of value to what we have going on already. So when I or the Poet Life shines, I want to make sure that they feel like their brand is shining as well. And if they don't have a brand, I want them to be inspired to build their own brand.
right.
Because in turn, my brand looks even better, because now I'm not just working with an individual.
Exactly.
I'm partnering with another brand.
Exactly.
You see what I'm saying? So they're like,
Listen,
oh,
I get
wow.
it. I get it.
Yeah.
I get
Yeah.
it. I get it wholeheartedly.
So
I
so I
just
want
had
I
some.
want you to win.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? I want you to want more, and so yeah, we're on the same page. That's kind of why I was like, yo, I gotta reach out to her, because like we're doing similar things, and I think we can connect like on that level. So I'm excited to have you here. When did poetry come in for you?
So I used to write poetry when I was in middle school, just like as a release. It wasn't until, well, in elementary school, it wasn't until I got to middle school that I realized that you could like share your poetry and read it out loud. Someone had to tell me that. And then my very first performance was at the Blacks and Wax Museum. I was 11
Okay.
years old, and
Wow.
it was awesome. And then I just been kind of going ever since. After high school, I kind of took a real life break and was doing
Yeah.
like real life stuff. But
Yeah.
I've been back at it for about 6 years now. So
Nice.
yeah,
Wow. For your first, you came in high, like
yeah. It was
nice.
awesome. And the guy who got me the gig was my teacher. He was the same teacher who told me, like, you can share your poetry, like you can, there's places you can. He set it up and he made it happen. So we're still cool
Yeah.
to this day. So I'm really grateful because it really sparked my whole lane in poetry.
Right. Right. Where is the poetry party? What venue are you using?
So right now we are located at the garage. It's 6 East Lafayette. It's basically just a blank canvas that we set up every Wednesday and make it dope. It's awesome.
That's
It's awesome.
that's great. Wow. Okay. I love Baltimore, man, when it comes to poetry.
Yeah.
Baltimore is just like, it's another world when it comes to poetry,
It's
because
amazing.
it's all family, yo. Like
Mhm.
it's clear, everybody, I'm sure there's pockets, but like it seems like everybody pushes and supports everybody,
Yep.
you
It
know.
really is. Generally, it really is like that. I'm sure there's exceptions, but
Right.
overall, it's really love. Like when I found this underground art community, it was no turning back. No turning back.
Man, that's amazing. That's amazing. Um, and I can really appreciate the presentation that you present. Backdrop, it's just clean, and tell me about how you brokered the deal with the production company.
So
How'd you
that
make
is a
that
great
happen?
question. I'm so glad you asked that. So about in 2018, 2017, 2017. So 2018, I was at my kid's football game and I ran into this random guy who we both thought we knew each other. Neither one of us knew each other, but we told each other what we did. He's like, "Oh, I do this, I do that," and we just like exchange information. Random. So he actually introduced me to the production guy who I actually work with now. Then, and at that time, working with like DJ Reds, and they were doing all this cool stuff, and I was just like, whoa. And they're like, we want and they have this huge studio with all these lights and cameras, beautiful production place, and they're like, we want to have an open mic and we want you to host it. And I was like, you want me to host it? I was like, all right, cool. And they was like, we want to shoot it like a series, we need you to change your clothes 3 times, it's going to be like a taping. They were just telling me all this stuff. They just had this whole vision for it. And so I hosted the open mic. We crushed it. It was amazing. So we did it again. We did it like a month later, same back-to-back dope events. And then something happened with the original Connect guy. I'm not exactly sure what happened with them. And then fast forward a couple years later, we stayed in contact, the production team and I. And because throughout the meetings, we would like talk about all these ideas we had. And he would always say, let me tell you, in 2018, he was ahead of his time. He would say to me, he said, you can do this. And I was 2 years ago hosting. So I was hosting, but not like hosting.
Right.
3 years ago hosting at this point. So he's like, you can do this. He's like, we can stream these open mics. He was talking about streaming 3 years ago. He was talking about Netflix 3 years ago. He was talking about sponsorships and all this stuff 3 years ago. And we divine timing is everything. So here we are, fast forward now. A whole lot of life happened, a whole lot of experience happened. We got the perfect venue. We have the perfect setup. We have the perfect timing in for everything. And now we're able to work towards Netflix, which is the goal, which is the goal ultimately with the Poetry Party is to be able to, very similar to Deaf Poetry Jam, we want to be able to provide a dope platform that is quality, that looks good for local talent, local artists to be able to sing worldwide. That's what you want people to be able to see them world, because that's the artists in Baltimore. You just said it. The artists in Baltimore are good enough. Like, granted, come. We invite out of state people. Y'all can come. Everybody can come. But the people here in this city deserve a platform like that, and so that's what we want. And now we have so I'm grateful that he saw something in me 3 years ago. I'm grateful that he was patient with me. I'm grateful that I was able to foster a business relationship that could last 3 years, even for us to be able to pick back up now, because it's not always easy.
No.
And we work together, and we both have a very similar dream. We're both executive producers. We both are going in on this together, and it feels good. So
wow, relationships. Yeah, treating people right and not burning bridges.
Yeah,
being honest, having integrity. That's dope. That's awesome. That is awesome, man. And I give you your flowers, man. Doing something weekly is a beast, and it looks like you are handling it. You know,
I am. Yeah. I'll tell you this. Something that started off as a hobby, because when I first started, I was daycare provider. I was still an entrepreneur, but I was full-time daycare. When COVID hit, my daycare shut down. So Poetry Party became my full-time job. So now it's a full-time business.
Gotcha.
It's got all the numbers and everything behind it. Like, it's legit now. So I'm very, very proud of it. And it's now it's got my full attention. So
nice.
Yes, it's where it was a little bit of a burden before, because it was like I was trying to juggle.
Yeah.
Now it's life. Now it's like poet life. So now
right. Yeah, that's awesome. That's awesome. We got to brainstorm. We got to brainstorm some projects and things. I think that would be awesome. That's one thing I truly believe in, and that's partnerships and collaborations.
Absolutely. Same.
Yeah.
I would not be here if it wasn't for relationships.
Yeah. They say if you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far,
go together.
Yeah, most definitely. And I'm so glad that we were able to make this thing happen. So what told you, or who told you that you could do this? I know you said the gentleman said that you could do this, but like, what was it really that said, okay, I can start my own platform? Because you were hosting other persons or other people's platforms, right? Or events.
Yeah, well, I was hosting other people's events, and I was hosting my own events. All right, so to answer your question, because the initial question, like, who told me I can start my own platform? The answer to that actually doesn't start with the Poetry Party. It actually starts with Sister Sessions. So Sister Sessions was my very first platform I ever started.
Okay.
So Sister Sessions was another event that I ran for 3 years, and it started off as bi-weekly, and then it became monthly. Then it got so big, really, that it became quarterly, and it's a women's networking platform. So it was designed to showcase female artists and showcase female entrepreneurs. So it was literally a collaboration of art and business, women in art and business, and it was amazing. I'm saying was like it doesn't exist. It still very much exists, but
Right.
you, I'm sure, can imagine what it's like to juggle multiple things. But when I started that platform I actually started because I wanted to be a part of my own solution, if that made sense. Like,
Yeah.
I literally remember scrolling through Facebook one day, and it just seemed like for whatever reason, this particular day, it was just a lot of people complaining on my timeline, like a lot. And I just was like, a lot of women. And I just was like, I wish it was like a platform that women could just go to and just vent and heal together without the negativity, and just, it could be positive, and it get to be black. And I'm just saying all these things, and I'm just like, just create it, like just do it. And so I remember, I still have the video. I posted like a call to action. My locks were like little baby locks at the time. And I was just like, look, I'm looking for some positive women who are interested in doing some positive things. I don't know what yet, but if you're like, just, I'm gonna have an interest meeting. I had an interest meeting, and then it just grew from there. So when I say the poetry party is an extension of that, because the person who recommended me to host at the particular venue where I started the poetry party is a female DJ who rocked with me at Sister Sessions, who worked with me, who's, so it's that constant, like, oh, you've had me, now I got you kind of thing.
Right.
And so it was just dope. Now, as far as like hosting my own poetry platform, I didn't need anybody to give me permission for that, honestly. Like, the first time I've ever like hosted a poetry open mic, like even when I was doing arts and culture, which is the open mic I did with the same production team I work with now, back in 2018, it was so natural. It was probably the easiest thing I've ever done. So my confirmation comes from the people. Like, when people come up to me afterwards and they say, you're such a great host, or oh my gosh, you had such a good time, or this is such a vibe, I can't wait to come back. That's my permission. That's my, oh, you can, because honestly, in a city like Baltimore, where art is so deeply rooted, and you got legends from here, like, it's not easy to just come out here and just start a platform and think someone's gonna respect it and someone's gonna, like, so it took consistency and it took work. But the permission, I think, came from the people, if anybody.
Yeah. Wow. That's dope. That's dope. So were you always at that venue?
No. So we were first we start with the poetry party. So I hosted a number of venues, but the poetry party specifically started off at a venue called Noir, and we were there for 7 months. And then when the pandemic hit and the restaurants closed, we no longer were there anymore. Then when we went virtual, I was streaming from home for about March, April, May. And then June, July, August, we were literally mobile. Like, we would find different outdoor spaces that have open mics. We did it on the waterfront. We've done it in the hood. We've done it in people's backyards. Like, we literally were like finding any kind of way to like host it. Because our main goal was like, we said we would be here every Wednesday. We got to be here every Wednesday. And people showed up every Wednesday. So, and then in August of 2020, that was our 1-year anniversary. That's where we found the garage, because the space was big enough to hold us. We could social distance, we could space everybody out, we could follow CDC guidelines. And when we had it there for our anniversary, everyone was like, I think this is our new home. So we just
Really?
We just been
there. Is it a cover charge? How does that work?
You said, is it a what?
Is it a cover charge?
Yeah, so it's $10 to get in, whether you're performing or a spectator. You can choose to be a live studio audience member, because that's what it is at this point, because it's a live studio audience. Or you can be a performer. If you would like a copy of your footage, it's an extra $25, which is super affordable, and it's like a steal. But and you usually get it in about 14 days, and it'll be edited. It'll have your name, it'll have a logo on it. It'll be just your performance with the credits at the end. It's pretty cool. So and it's only $10.
Yeah.
Like, I know open mics that cost more than mine. It's a whole lot less and a whole lot less safe. But I'm grateful. I'm grateful to be able to keep the numbers down and keep it affordable because I want it to be. You know what I mean? I want people to be able to come. I want people to be able to afford it, and I want them to be able to enjoy themselves while they're there. I want them to be able to support the vendors, buy drinks, buy food. I'm not trying to break you at the door. So.
Yeah. No, that's good. That's good. So what all goes into putting on a weekly event?
So we recently condensed our process. We're trying to like streamline it, perfect it, make it better. But as of now, the poetry party is about a 2 to 3 day process. So we have our Wednesdays, of course, where all the magic happens. But Thursdays consist of like a recap. So we watch the footage, we pick the artists that we want to keep on the show. We pick the artists that we want to fine tune and we may want to polish. We have performance and development we want to put them through. So that happens on Thursdays. Thursdays also involve dinner. One of us always cooks. We always have like dinner. Whoever's house hosts, we host a meeting. And we try to keep it like fun and family, like feed each other and stuff too.
Right.
So it's awesome. And then on those Thursday meetings, we also set goals. So we'll set one individual goal, one collective goal for the group. And then on Monday afternoon, we will follow up. So Monday meetings are like Zoom meetings. Thursday meetings are in person. But Monday meetings, so then Monday, we follow up on those action items from the Thursday goals. And then we prepare for the Wednesday show. So it's work, but it's awesome. So everyone has their individual roles and we all know what we're responsible for. And we kind of just pick up where we all need to. Nothing is like, the greatest thing I love about the team is like, nothing is like mandated. So it's not like, oh my gosh, if you're late for a meeting, we're going to like punish you. You know, everybody cares enough to be responsible and do what they're supposed to do. I'm talking about a year of this. Like, I don't have to like reprimand. I've tried really hard not to create that hierarchy. Granted, we all have our times. I have my moments where I get accused of being a boss.
Right.
I'm sure that's a part of it's a part of the pie.
Yeah.
But ultimately, I really do want to create like a cohort of businesses. Like, you're your own brand. Like, we're only as strong as we are individually. So everybody has their roles, and because their roles directly benefit them, they take care of them, and we show up for each other on Wednesdays, and it's amazing. So I keep telling myself I want to like record it, like the behind the scenes, just so like people could see everything that goes into it, because it really is pretty fascinating. Like, when you walk in there at 6:00 and the space is empty, and then by 7:30 it's the poetry party. Like, it's awesome.
Is there a DJ?
Yes, we have DJ. We have DJ Focus. That's with a Q. He's probably the best DJ you've never heard if you've never heard him before. Oh my goodness, he's amazing, and he's literally been my DJ for years. So when I did arts and culture, he was my DJ. When I hosted all these different shops around town, he's my guy. So I'm honored to be able to have this platform with him, because we've shared so many other stages. So now we shine, and it's like, thanks for sticking with me, because we went
Yeah.
So it's cool.
Right. So between the artist performances, he'll turn on the music.
Yep. So he plays music in between artists. The thing I like about him most is he listens to the show. So if you have a particular poem or someone does something that reminds him of a song, he's gonna play a song. He likes to engage with the comedian. So throughout the comedic set, sometimes he'll do little drops to like just make the show better. I've also newly appointed him as a co-host, so I'm trying to like work on his speaking elements and stuff like that, because he's a great DJ, but he don't talk too much. So just polishing him in ways that he needs to be polished. So and he's getting better. He's on Twitch now. He's verified on Twitch because he's been doing it every day, because that consistency. And he's amazing. He also has like this great setup where first of all, his investment in himself is above par, well branded, head to toe, everything. But also his equipment, top of the line equipment, like he don't cut corners. He bought himself this stand, like a DJ stand. It has like a TV on it, so you can see, like, he advertises throughout the night all the services he provides, outside services. Like, I love it. Like, I'm here for it all. So
that's awesome.
Yeah, he's a great DJ. He's like the total package.
Right. Okay, so how many people are you looking at what's a sold out event for you
So
all?
we got different numbers, right? Because of
Yeah.
COVID and CDC got
Right.
that. So up until maybe whenever this new mandate came out, a sold out event would be like 50 people.
Nice.
So we would bring 50 people out regular, like on a
Yeah.
regular basis. Sometimes maybe a little less, sometimes more, sometimes a little more. So right now we're sold out is probably like 75 comfortably for me. The number's higher for them, but when I think about like seatings and again, still social distancing, still where you like, I'm not trying to get shut down. There's a reason
Right.
we've been sustained. We have had no issues. You know what I mean? I've been COVID free this entire time. Like I will
Yeah.
keep it that way. So
Right.
I want to keep it that way. But we could probably get like the goal moving into the season is 100 people a night. That's the goal.
Nice.
So,
Nice. Now you spoke of seasons. What does
yes.
a season look like? What's the
So a
time
season is
span?
like the 6 months, and over the course of the 6 months, what we want to do is we want to provide internships to artists. So you
Mm,
come to the poetry party, you have unlimited opportunity to perform on a weekly basis. You go through performance and development. You learn where you want to learn, attach yourself to the roles you want to attach yourself to, because it's not just poetry. You might want to be a host. You might want to be a photographer. You might want to be a videographer. You might be audio engineer. You might want to be a sound engineer, DJ. So we have all these roles that we are teaching other people. So it's a 6 month program, and you kind of go through it. So
mm,
where you might, you know how you might watch like a reality show and you'll see some people from season one, and then season two it might be some people from the last season but new people too. So it's going to
right.
be similar to that. So each one, people can decide if they want to stay, if they want to continue, take another 6 months with it, or if they want to do something else. But the goal is, while you're here with us, at the very beginning, I need to know what you want out of this, what you need out of this, and then at the end of the 6 months, you will have accomplished whatever it is that you. And these are tangible
Mm,
things. They're tangible things. So, because we have the production, because we have the resources, the services that we have, we want to know exactly what you need as an artist. Do you need a music video? Do you need to get your music license? Do you need to learn about ASCAP? Do you need to get it published? Are you writing a book? Are you a poet? Do you need it published? Do you need to edit it? What is it that's keeping you from the next step? So we're going to do
nice.
that in the next 6 months. So we're trying to be more than just an open mic platform for artists, but actually a platform to like really, really grow artists. So,
Wow.
yeah.
Wow. You said comedian. That's the first. I didn't know you had
Oh
comedians.
yeah, we have comedians, we have singers, we have all kinds of people. I mean, I've had people come and do monologues. I've had some strange things happen. Like, it's an open stage, so it is an open mic. It's a party. It's a collective of all different kinds of art. I've even had someone come and do martial arts to music before. So
Wow.
yeah, it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool.
Okay.
You never know
Okay.
what you're gonna get. You never know what you're gonna get.
Now I understand when you say that. That makes a lot of sense now. Because before I was like, okay, because you also said that they have unlimited stage time. If you not unlimited stage time, but like amounts of times that they can be on the stage throughout the 6 months. Um, so so what does the artist development look like?
So artist development looks like, so it's very new. All of these things are newly to be rolled out if they
Okay.
haven't already been rolled out. So the way the artist development will look is, one, we're not trying to be artist managers. Like, I'm not trying to like pretend to be
Okay.
something that I'm not at all. I want to help artists manage their processes. A lot of time, a lot of us want to be entrepreneurs, but we're really not equipped to do so. Like, not fully,
Right.
fully.
Right.
And it's just, even myself, I have processes that my team helped me manage, and vice versa. So we want to help artists manage their processes. So our development will come from literally finding out what it is that you lack in, what opportunities that you need, and fine tuning and polishing those, as well as whatever your strengths are as well. So if you're a poet, or and a lot of it, I imagine our target customer mainly will be a lot of new poets, a lot of people who are just trying to get out there, or sometimes people who've been there a while but sometimes people have been there a while are hard to learn. So, but listen, but we here for everybody. If you're ready, we're here for you. But ideally, we want to be we want to help you manage your processes, and so we want you to come to classes essentially where you will practice your poetry, and you'll be helped on content, you'll be helped on performance, or whatever it is you want to be helped on. If you don't want to be helped on content, but you might want to be helped in performance, I'm not going to force you to take my content advice. You're a poet, you're an artist, write what you want. But if you just like, just teach me how to walk the stage, or teach me how to use the space, or teach me how to use the mic, because a lot of people don't even know how to hold a microphone properly. So providing these, instead of just letting anybody get on the stage and not be their greatest that they could be, really help them be great. So then when the show comes and we're streaming, they're like, where did all these great talented artists come from? Everyone's so polished, because we work with them. So that's what artist development is going to look like.
Wow. That's dope. You just opening a whole can of like, this is what's going on. Okay. I just thought it was an open mic and
party.
Wow. That's dope. So where do you see Poetry Party going, right? What's the end game?
The end game is international. The end game is definitely TV for sure. The end game, I want to say Netflix, but I believe we could be so much bigger. Like, who knows where the world is going. But I know my goal is to be Netflix equivalent, to provide this platform on an international basis for local artists to be seen and heard worldwide. Like, it's happening because they're good enough. We are good enough. And I think it's time. I think poetry is due for this. I think like you said, the poetry industry is due. We've had great movements with the young lady who spoke at the inauguration. We've had movements in a lot of different areas, and there's poetry in movies and different albums. Kanye, different people have done it, but what we're about to do, us, you included, as a collective,
for sure.
Yeah, the industry hasn't seen yet. So I'm excited to be a part of it. And I'm excited that the Poetry Party validates this for me every week, because this is big. This is a big dream. So I needed to like constantly like re-emphasize itself. But it does. It does every week.
That is awesome. So classes, is that on Zoom? How's that look? How's that operate?
Classes will be provided on Zoom as well. As of right now, we're just working with the artists who are actually coming to perform at our events. So eventually it will evolve into something that we can just provide for people to just help them wherever you are. But as of right now, we want to help and polish people who want to perform and who want to be seen, who want to be on the screen, who want to be on the show, and just fine tune and start there. So that's where we're at. Everything's in person right now.
Okay. Cool. So do you perform as well when you're hosting?
I do. I usually, sometimes I'll open. I have an outro that I love to do at the end of all the shows, but you just never know what you're gonna get from me. You never know. But I do typically perform every night. Cool. I love it. I love poetry, so I have to I gotta put my little piece in too.
Yeah, well, you gotta. I mean, why not? It's your platform. Yeah.
And sometimes I need to use it. I need to use though. Like I'm like, all right, release. I'm about to switch over. I need y'all to show some love for the poet. Keisha Lioness. Like, I need this.
Right. Yeah. Definitely. You utilize your own platform. Absolutely. Because I get it. For me, this isn't for me. This is for the community. This is for the industry. If I could do what I do behind the scenes, I would. And I've tried for the longest, but I was stunting my growth in the process. Having to depend on others, and wait, and so I was just like, okay, all right, okay, cool. So let's do it. I'll be the host. So I had to fight with that for some time, because I'm not interested in the camera. I'm not interested into the lights. That's just not who I choose to be.
Right.
But I really appreciate I guess the push, if you will, because now that I'm in the seat, I'm like, okay, I know how to maneuver now. You know what I mean? Because I know what I want to see.
Yep.
So yeah, definitely.
No, I understand that, and it's definitely a push. And being in that seat will definitely push you. So
Yeah, because I mean, you don't want to be in the same place a year from now. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, just like you said, you continue to push your people. You want to continue to push your platform as well.
absolutely,
Yeah, yeah.
absolutely. And I
Okay.
don't want to just grow and then everybody around me is just right here. Like, what sense does that make? Like,
Right.
if I'm growing and they growing and we all growing, then I'm just gonna grow more. We all just gonna grow more. Like,
Yeah. Yeah.
so it's just a
Definitely.
matter of finding people who think like that. As long as you
I
find
know.
people around
That's
you who
the
think the
part.
same, that's the part.
Yeah, that's the part because it's better when you have multiple brains operating, and you get to bounce your ideas off others as well. Yeah. What kind of ideas does your team present to you that you didn't think of?
Oh wow. So the surveys was one of my team's ideas. Like we should do a survey. So we have it so where customers can do a survey on their phone and it's like automatic app. It's super easy. Another one of my teammates suggested that we have a um, contact free sign up list. So now we have an app where people can sign the open mic list and it gives them their time and they know when they're up and it alerts them when there's almost their turn. Like it's like genius. What else wasn't my idea? To theme the nights. So we have theme nights. We have like a fire pit night, wasn't my idea, where people bring their most fire pieces. It's like you come and it's like lit all night. All the lights are red that night. It's really dope. They come up with all kinds of stuff. Like they come up with all kinds of stuff. So it's really cool. I'm sure if I continue, like, my one of my teammates actually designed our logo, so even that's cool. Another one of our teammates prints all our shirts, and our face masks and stuff. Like, it's a collective. It really is a collective. It really
So
is.
you all are printing t-shirts and also selling t-shirts at the party?
Yep. And face
Nice.
mask, and we're working on some other things too. So like this is one of the masks. This is my mask. I don't know if you can see it, but like, where's my camera? So like Keisha Lioness. And this is my shirt. But like they print all of these and sell them at the event.
So that's the logo for the party, or that's
No. This
your
is my
logo?
personal logo. This
Got
is
you.
the Keisha Lioness logo.
Got you.
But the logo you see it behind us.
Yes.
He designed
The
that.
the
Yeah.
rectangular.
Yeah, the
Nice.
neon lights. He
Yeah.
designed that, and we just working. So we have he designed team logo. So everyone on our team has a logo, and he designs them. And so even with the websites, like all of us don't have websites, but all of us almost have websites. Like they're almost done, but like we're literally making sure everyone has the things that we need, so we can sell, so we can grow, so we can build. Like it's pretty cool. So we're
Right.
starting with ourselves. So when we're helping other people, we can be like, look, this is what we've done.
Exactly. Yeah. You can't be teaching somebody and you don't even have that in
Exactly.
place. Yeah.
Exactly.
That's so good. That is so good that you're becoming the example,
Trying.
and becoming the example and then giving examples. So many people give examples without becoming the example.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah. So I can appreciate that level of intentionality. That is, man, this is, I thought we were going to talk about your event and think about, about you, what you got going on, but like, this is a whole operation that I didn't even know about.
Yeah, it's definitely an operation. It's definitely an operation.
So you were speaking about what you should do as far as documenting the process, maybe it'd be a good idea to create another internship for whether it's a college student or whoever, but for that person to be on your calls and in-person meetings, and just behind the scenes, so they can be your camera person.
I like that idea. And I actually have my list of intern opportunities in the same book. I'm just gonna add.
You know, that would be awesome. And just, you know, on a weekly basis, put those clips together, and because it doesn't have to be super movie like, you know,
right,
behind the scenes, you know, documentary type style. People just want to see what you all do on the behind the scenes. And I never knew that you all had the classes, the artist development. You know, that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
That's the industry right there.
Yeah, I know it's like a poetry label.
Yeah, no, really. You know, but
it's awesome. Like, I'm here for it.
But that's what it takes, though. You know what I mean? Like doing things that are different. You know, doing what the other industries are doing, but for poetry.
What works?
What works?
Doing what works.
You know, it's like you ask a question, how do you become a professional poet? Well, how does one become a professional rapper? They obviously write, you know, they rehearse, they practice, but they also invest in themselves. I don't care if they're good or bad. They still save up some money and make a video, whether it's in their backyard or in their house. You know what I'm saying? Like Chief Keef, his hottest video was at his house. I think he was on house arrest. You know what I'm saying? Like, he was like, okay, cool. I'm gonna just invite my folks over and we're gonna shoot this video. And that drink went crazy.
And that's how it is. Like, you have a lot of times we think, whether you're a poet or you're anything, we think that the world's just gonna hand us an opportunity.
No, that's not how it works.
It's not. You have to do the work, and then you have to keep doing the work and keep doing the work, and then you have to not get picked and not get picked again, not get picked again, and then, you know what I mean? Like, you have to keep, like, it's a lot, and then you begin the process of, like, your journey and your destiny and where you're supposed to be. So, like, if you want to be a professional poet, you can't think you could just write. Like, you could just write a book and, like, Oprah could just happen to pick it up and it could just, you know, maybe. I'm not going to tell you that's not going to happen because I don't know the future.
Sure.
But you're probably going to have to put some work in.
Yeah.
Like a lot of work. Like a lot of work.
Yeah.
Like anybody else.
You know, you just said something. You said the not being chosen, not being picked. That's a key component to success.
Absolutely. And you have to be okay with that. You have to be willing to work past and work through not being picked. So many people give up when they don't get picked. I can't believe I got that opportunity. I'm better than that person. I ain't doing this no more. That's it. That's it. Like, you have to be willing to do that a few times. And still, once even you think you deserve it, it's still a good couple times that you still might not. You know what I mean? So, and it's just staying consistent through that, and being able to understand, see your own value, and create your own value, and just push and push and push and push and push.
Right. If you really want it.
If you really want it, but that'll determine if you want it or not. It'll show. It will certainly show. Success.
You know, not being picked or can't find what you're looking for will push you to create what you're looking for.
Absolutely.
Because that was my thing. You know, I was like, okay, how do I create, or how how do I make money in poetry?
Mm-hmm.
You know, even outside of performing, because you know, I don't have an affinity for performance. You know, I'm a page poet. You know, and so I was like, okay, if I'm not performing, how do I do that? You know, and so my father told me once, he was like, all right, you know, I get it. You know, that's just not your stick. You know, you rather not perform. But what if you partnered with those who have a passion for the stage and gave them the script, which is the poem, right? You match passion for passion, and then you create some magic that way. And I was like, man.
Genius.
So that was my first introduction to doing something outside of the box. You know?
Well, that's actually really cool. Like, I wish I had more like experience reading other people's poems, because you get something different when you're like expressing, even
Right.
having someone else read my poetry. Like, I've never had I've never had that. So that's interesting. That's very
Yeah. Well, think of it this way. A songwriter and a singer.
Mm-hmm.
It's the same difference. You know what I mean?
True.
You know, like the songwriter, they may be able to sing, but you know, they sell off their songs that they wrote.
Now, see,
Yeah.
I'm a great editor. Like, I could take your poem and make it performance ready. I can do that. But still, for you though, like, I don't. That's probably the closest I've done to anything like reading someone else or writing for someone else, is I can like help you with your pronouns.
So I have the skill set to write in other people's voices. So I can write a poem with the voice of a woman. Like, I've done that before. All I need is to have a great conversation with you for you to tell me, you know, what the direction is, what's the language, you know what I'm saying? And you would think that person wrote it.
Wow, that's
Yeah.
impressive.
Yeah. So I've written for weddings, I've written for funerals, more than, you know, I would choose to. But yeah, no, I just want poets to know that poetry is so much more than just writing a poem. It's deeper than poetry.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like poetry is so much more than a poem. You know, if you think about, especially when it comes to the industry, if you think about a company and you're talking about marketing, they hire copywriters, people who write copy, right? The captions, the introductions to whatever, the product captions and stuff like that. But what better person to hire than someone that's great with words? You see what I'm saying?
That's true.
Yeah. So when you start opening your mind, like, okay, all right, I can do so much more with my skill set of wordplay, you know, then I become more valuable. You know?
I agree.
Yeah.
I feel like prior to me being an entrepreneur, I'm almost positive that my wordplay and my skill set got me every job opportunity I've ever had, every promotion, anything. Like, I could literally speak my way into anything, any opportunity, and it was great. And even when I was working in corporate America, I got a lot out of it. Like, I learned a lot. Like, I basically put myself through like corporate college. Like, I took so much information from those companies, and I'm able to apply it like to my personal like business, and it's awesome. But I know for a fact that gift of gab got me there, because I didn't go to college. It wasn't no credentials, like, and I was like operation manager and HR manager. I mean, like, really doing the job, like at like
Right.
22, 23 years old, doing a great job. But again, just that willingness and that ability to be able to talk and speak, I don't take it for granted, because there's so many people are like stage fright is like, I think it's like the number one like fright, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
Like,
Even past death.
Exactly. Like people are afraid to speak. That's crazy.
Yeah. Listen, Keith the Lioness, man, you gave so much value in this episode. The information, the revelation, because I just didn't know. I didn't know it was so much more than what we see on Instagram. You got to show that.
Yeah, I should. I definitely should.
Yeah.
I'm gonna show
Like
more.
the performances are awesome, obviously.
Yeah.
But I had no clue. Like for real, and allowing people to see all of what goes on behind the curtains will show them and teach them even the more, because 'cause I'm sure some people are like, I want to do an open mic. All right, but how do I do that?
Mm-hmm.
You know, or I want to do an open mic and think that it's simple.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Yeah.
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 And I want to be able to help people do that as well. Because while we have been the only open mic for some time because of COVID, I realized that like open mics are starting to come back out, and what we want to happen is everyone who's doing it to do it right, especially at a time like this. So while all other open mics are planning to open, we even know Busboys and Poets is coming to Baltimore soon.
Right.
I really want to be able to share the information that we have, the things that we've learned, so that they can be sustainable, but they can also not mess it up for us, if that
Right.
makes sense. Because
Right.
it's like we've been doing it right. We just want everyone to do it right. We've invested in things like mic covers. So each artist, when you're sharing a microphone, like that's, it's kind of disgusting. So every artist get a mic cover. You have to use the mic cover when you come. I just bought a case of Lysol. Like it's things, it's money, it's stuff invested. Like I have to buy mic covers every month. Like I have to get Lysol. I have to buy wipes. I have to buy soap. I have to make sure I got batteries for the temperature check, and so we can check temperatures at the door. I have to make sure people are like, it's a lot of work. There are things that we haven't even talked about. So I want to be able to help others, do open mics right as well. We're really trying to fine tune this thing and make sure it's sustainable, because we
Right.
want to make sure we're here for people.
You want to continue to be the example.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. Yeah. Take care of home first.
Absolutely.
I got you. Keith, thanks so much. I really appreciate it.
Thank you. I appreciate this.
Folks don't even know what time it is right now. It's 10:30 at night. Yeah.
Well, I'm grateful, and thank
Yeah.
you for having me. It's been a roller coaster of a month for me. So I'm excited for it to be April and for it to be National Poetry Month. Thank you, Christoph. Thank you, Poet Life. I appreciate this like a lot. So thank you.
Most definitely. And we'll definitely connect and see where we can collide and collab. And everybody, it's the Poet Life Podcast. For all of what we have going on, go to thepoetlife.com. If you want the gear, go to poetlifegear.com. Check out everything that we have going. But check out Keith the Lioness. Check out what's the Instagram for Poetry Party.
So the Poetry Party is The Poetry Party Baltimore on Instagram. We also have a Google business page. So if you type in Google The Poetry Party, our page will come up. You'll see reviews, you'll see photos, you'll see information on how to get tickets and all that stuff.
Man, I got to do that.
Yeah, you got to get a Google business page. I'm telling you. So when you're in Baltimore and you type in open mic or anything like that, the Poetry Party is going to come up. It's going to come up.
Do you have to be a physical location?
So you do have to have a physical location. Now, you don't have to be at that physical location per se, but you have to, like, you're going to have to, your business has to have, because they're going to mail you something and you have to verify it. Yeah, that's it.
Well, I thought it was more so, I thought that you had to have a place where people come to have a Google business page, but you don't.
I think so. Wait, so you don't have a place at all?
No. Yeah, I'm mobile. Like, you know what I mean?
I mean, I feel like you probably, I don't know. I have to find out.
I would imagine because, I think I know mobile services.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I imagine that you could definitely have a Google business page.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When I get off here, I'm jumping on Google and I'm going to find out.
Get a Google, and it's
for
free.
sure. And I'm gonna tap in. I'm gonna let you know what my page is.
Let me know. I'll give you a review.
I appreciate you. It's the Poet Life Podcast. Everybody have an awesome day. Have I guess the day's over for us. Have an awesome rest of the week. It's the Poet Life Podcast. Christoph writes. We're out.
Introducing the Poet Life Podcast. Go check it out today on your favorite platforms, including iTunes, Apple Music, and the website, thepoetlife.com.